Okay, so good morning, everybody. Thank you for your time. I'd like to take a few minutes here just to talk about the importance of cyclic steam injection. So good morning, my name is PGlenn, and I'd like to take this time, like I said, to talk about the importance of cyclic steam injection. As we all know, energy is in high demand, and with prices of oil the way they are today, the research and development for green or alternative production methods is really uneconomic. So if this is the case, what is the solution to this potential energy crisis? What I'm going to take the time today to tell you about is the ability to produce light and heavy crude oil. Heavy oil is very difficult to produce through conventional methods, and a great physical description of heavy crude comes from the Canadian Association of Petroleum Engineers in a research paper entitled "What Are Oil Sands?" In this paper, one line stuck out to me immensely. Imagine oil as hard as a rock or as hard as a hockey puck. With a description like that, how could you really think we could produce something as hard as a hockey puck through a conventional lift method through a rod pump? Though heavy oil is very difficult to recover, according to Hart in the paper Production Engineering, heavy oil reserves are more than twice that of light conventional reserves. So this topic is especially important to me because I do have personal experience. I have nearly a decade of experience in the oil field, and though this is seen as an expensive production and not necessarily safe production method, this is not my experience. Energy is a necessity, and the price of fossil fuels is so low, alternative or green research and development is non-economic at this time. It is imperative that our established current production methods are continually developed and the use in order to produce and the required natural resources and sustain the nation's energy needs. I'd like to take this time now to talk about three different scenarios or three different aspects. I'd like to talk about the length of time we've been using cyclic steam, the safety measures that are associated with cyclic steam injection, and the economic benefit of cyclic steam injection. According to the California-based journalist Hoffman and the Anatomy of Cyclic Steaming taken from the Santa Barbara Independent newspaper, cyclic steam injection has been in place in California since the 1960s. Also in this paper, it makes note to my central county, Santa Barbara here, and we've been using cyclic steam injection since the 1990s. On the right here, you can see a brief diagram of the three stages in cyclic steam injection. You have your actual injection phase, where you inject X amount of barrels, depending on your process. Your second stage is where you actually shut in the well to allow the steam to infiltrate the surrounding reservoir and help to liquefy and decrease viscosity. The third stage is when we actually start opening the well to allow the oil to flow to surface. Now that we've talked a little bit about how long cyclic steam has been in use, I'd like to go ahead and transition to the safety aspect. Now, this visual aid is not the best in my case, but there are dramatic safety concerns when it comes to steam injection. There is always potential for well failures. That's usually associated with the well itself. You don't have communication from the injection zone to the surface rarely. It is a possibility, anything's a possibility. But as you can see here in these visual aids, this was actually a very shallow well failure, whereas the steam actually made the pipe fail itself, and we did show some surface expressions to surface. According to Jordan and Benson, quoted from the research paper, Well Blowout Rates and Consequences in California Oil and Gas District, blowout rates have substantially decreased from 1991 to 2005. Along with this statistic, Jordan and Benson have deduced that overall safety has increased due to increased knowledge and improved technology. So the more we learn from these incidents, the more well-rounded the wellbores are. You know, we anticipate any kind of failure, so there's additional casing streams implemented as well as different cement blends and such. Also the regular safety techniques, 24-hour monitoring, as well as pressure gauge, continued integrity testing and such. So now that we talked a little about the safety, I'd also like to look at the economic benefit of steam injection. In the article, Current Overview of Cyclic Steam Injection Process by Alvarez and Hahn, through the use of cyclic steam injection, the average recovery factor increased from 15 to 40% nationwide. This diagram here represents, even though it's a cartoon, this black area is what engineers estimate as the OOIP, meaning your original oil in place. The effective ultimate recovery means the amount of oil you can recover from that original oil in place. From Alvarez stating that we have increased our 15% recovery, this blue bubble here, from 40% by use of alternative methods such as cyclic steam injection is amazing. The ability to do this is we increase the recovery by decreasing the viscosity and allowing the oil to flow, meaning essentially liquefying the hockey puck. So in conclusion, I like to state that I have talked about the use of cyclic steam, the duration, the safety, the improved safety, and the enhanced oil or enhanced recovery of heavy crude, and the effective ultimate recovery increasing the economic benefit. I like to review those three heads one last time. So cyclic steam injection has been used for over half a century. It's not necessarily a new technique. Safety continues to increase by new technologies and new development, and it's improved and increased our ultimate recovery by 25%. In conclusion, in order to remain viable, industries must increase efficiency. As you can see, that's what we're doing here. And in closing, I'd like to ask you all to inform yourself and form your own opinion rather than taking the opinion of media or other uninformed biased reports. Thank you all for your time. Got it? How long was it?